What if I told you the reason you can't focus, can't stay disciplined, and constantly feel distracted has nothing to do with laziness? It's not a motivation problem, it's not a discipline problem, and it's definitely not because you're weak. The real reason is much more disturbing. Your brain has been hijacked by easy dopamine. Every time you open your phone, scroll social media, watch short videos, or jump from one piece of content to another, your brain gets a tiny hit of dopamine. And slowly, without you realizing it, your brain starts rewiring itself. Suddenly, normal life feels boring. Work feels painful. Reading feels impossible. Even simple tasks start to feel exhausting. And the scariest part? Most people think this is normal, but it's not. Today, you're going to understand exactly how easy dopamine is quietly destroying your focus, motivation, and attention span, and how to reverse it before it's too late. Part 1. The hidden addiction no one talks about. When people hear the word addiction, they think about drugs, alcohol, or gambling. But the most widespread addiction in the world right now is dopamine addiction, and almost everyone has it. The problem is that modern technology is designed to flood your brain with dopamine. Think about it. You wake up, the first thing you do is check your phone. Notifications, messages, likes, new videos, breaking news. Each of these things gives your brain a tiny reward. Your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical like many people think. It's actually the motivation chemical. Dopamine tells your brain, this is important. Do it again. So when your brain gets dopamine from scrolling, it learns something dangerous. Scrolling becomes the fastest way to feel good, and your brain starts to crave it. Not because you want it, but because your brain has been trained to need it. Part 2. Why everything feels boring now. Have you noticed something strange? Things that used to feel normal now feel incredibly boring. Reading a book feels slow. Studying feels painful. Working feels exhausting. Even watching a normal movie feels difficult. But scrolling for hours feels effortless. This happens because of something called dopamine desensitization. When your brain receives too much dopamine too often, it adapts. It reduces its sensitivity. In other words, your brain raises the reward threshold. Now normal activities can't compete. A book can't compete with endless TikTok videos. Studying can't compete with instant entertainment. Work can't compete with the constant novelty of the internet. So your brain starts labeling normal life as low reward, which means your motivation disappears. You feel lazy. But you're not lazy. Your brain is simply overstimulated. Part 3. The instant reward trap. Your brain evolved in a completely different world. Thousands of years ago, dopamine was released when you did things that helped you survive. Finding food, solving problems, learning skills, achieving goals. Dopamine pushed humans to improve. But now, you can get dopamine without effort. No challenge, no growth, no patience. Just open an app, swipe, scroll, refresh. Instant reward. And the brain loves instant reward. But there is a hidden cost. When reward becomes instant, your brain stops tolerating effort. And this is why people struggle to focus. Not because they can't, but because their brain has been trained to avoid effort. Part 4. Why your attention span is collapsing. Studies show the average human attention span is shrinking every year. Just a decade ago, people could focus much longer. Now, many people struggle to focus for even a few minutes. Why? Because your brain is constantly switching. Video, message, notification, scroll, new content. Your brain never rests, and every time you switch tasks, your brain releases a little dopamine. This creates a cycle. Your brain starts craving novelty. It constantly searches for something new, something faster, something more stimulating. This is why long tasks feel unbearable. Your brain keeps asking, "Where's the next reward?" But real life doesn't work that way. Success requires long periods of focus, which means dopamine addiction slowly destroys your ability to succeed. Part 5. The motivation paradox. Here's the irony. People think dopamine gives them motivation, but too much dopamine actually destroys motivation, because motivation only exists when reward requires effort. If reward is instant, effort becomes unnecessary. And if effort becomes unnecessary, discipline disappears. This is why someone can spend hours watching videos, but struggle to work for 20 minutes. It's not lazy, it's brain chemistry. Your brain simply follows the easiest path to dopamine. Part 6. The dangerous loop. Easy dopamine creates a powerful loop. Step 1, you feel bored. Step 2, you open your phone. Step 3, you get dopamine. Step 4, your brain remembers this. So next time you're bored, your brain pushes you to repeat the behavior. Over time, boredom becomes unbearable. Silence becomes uncomfortable. Your brain constantly wants stimulation. This is why many people can't sit quietly anymore. They need music, videos, scrolling, something, anything, just to avoid the feeling of boredom. But boredom is actually extremely important because boredom is where creativity begins. It's where deep thinking happens. And when dopamine addiction removes boredom, it also removes creativity. Part 7. What easy dopamine is stealing from you. The real danger of easy dopamine isn't just distraction. It's something much bigger. It's stealing your future. Think about it. Every hour spent chasing instant rewards is an hour not spent building real skills, not spent learning, not spent improving. Over months and years, the difference becomes massive. One person trains their brain for deep focus, another trains their brain for constant distraction, and eventually, their lives look completely different. One builds success, the other keeps searching for motivation. Part 8. How to reset your brain. The good news is your brain is incredibly adaptable. Even if you've trained it for easy dopamine, you can retrain it. But it requires one powerful change. You need to reduce easy dopamine. Not forever, just enough to reset your brain. This means limiting things like endless scrolling, short-form content, constant notifications, mindless browsing. Instead, replace them with slower rewards: reading, exercise, learning, working on meaningful goals. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your brain will resist because it wants the fast reward it's used to. But if you stay consistent, something amazing happens. Your brain begins to recalibrate. Normal activities start feeling rewarding again. Focus slowly returns, motivation comes back, and tasks that once felt impossible become manageable. Part 9. The discipline secret. Here's something most people never realize. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to work. It's about controlling your dopamine environment. People who seem disciplined usually aren't stronger than you. They simply removed the distractions. When easy dopamine disappears, effort becomes the only path to reward, and suddenly, focus becomes natural. Conclusion. Your brain isn't broken. You're not lazy, you're not weak. Your brain has simply adapted to a world full of instant rewards. But once you understand this, you gain something powerful: control. Because when you control your dopamine, you control your focus. And when you control your focus, you control your future. If this video helped you understand your brain better, subscribe to the channel, because on this channel, we break down the hidden psychology behind focus, motivation, dopamine, and mental performance, so you can take back control of your mind before the world rewires it for you.